Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we are going to be starting a brand new series entitled The Good, the Bad, and Philosophy. Now, in this new series, we're going to be covering normative ethics. So, normative theories of ethics basically are kind of sandwiched in between the two other major areas of ethics. That's meta-ethics and applied ethics. So, meta-ethics asks, what is good as a thing? Are there objective good or bad things? Normative ethics says, what theory can we create such that it explains all the things we think are good, the things we think are bad, and could correctly predict whether or not an action is good or bad. And applied ethics goes down and asks specific ethical questions and then often uses those normative theories or some other theory to determine whether those specific ethical questions are true or false, good or bad, and so on. What we should do in those specific situations. The first part of this series is going to be an explanation of the three major normative theories of ethics, and in each theory we're going to dig down a little deeper and come up with some of the kind of diversity amongst that theory. And the second part will look at contemporary ethical questions and attempt to ascertain how each of these theories would answer them. So the first part is more focused on kind of normative theories of ethics, and the second half is going to dig more into applied ethics and look how these theories can help us answer particular questions in ethics that arise today. This video is just going to be a brief introduction to the first part of the series, to the different theories that we will cover here. First off, before we get to the theories, we are going to look at an important distinction amongst these normative theories. We're going to look at the distinction between deontic, not deontological, deontic, and aretaic ethical theories. Once we're done with that, we will move on to deontology. We'll answer the question, what is deontology generally? It's one of the three major ethical theories, but what does that mean? Then we'll go into some specifics with deontology. We'll answer the question, what is Kantian ethics? We'll then look at what is agent-centered deontology. And finally, what is patient-centered deontology? Then we will move on to the kind of classic opponent of deontology, consequentialism. We'll look generally at what is consequentialism, then more specifically at what is utilitarianism, that particular theory. Then we'll go into some greater grains of detail, what is pluralistic consequentialism, and finally in this subset, what is expected consequentialism. Finally, for our major theories, we will look at what is virtue ethics. Within that, we'll look at what is virtue, what is agent-centered virtue ethics, and finally, what is target-centered virtue ethics. All right? So, within this short first half of the series, we have deontic versus aretaic ethics, deontology, and several versions of deontology, consequentialism, several versions of that, and virtue ethics, and several versions or important concepts of that. Stay tuned for all the videos in this series and the following series to look at applying these theories to actual ethical problems in the world. Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org and stay skeptical, everybody.